Los Angeles. Hello everybody, it's Tom here from the Company Code, author, educator and public speaker. Today I'm going to talk about one of my trips to Los Angeles. I say one of my trips, I've only been once, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to go back to my holiday in LA back in 2010. This was part of a free centre holiday. Now, by that, we did what you call the Golden Triangle. So we flew out to San Francisco, we came down across to Las Vegas, and then we went across and that sort of way to Los Angeles. This was a 2-week holiday back in August and September of 2010. Just me and my mum and my dad. Brother and sister didn't come. It was just the three of us. And I have to say, Los Angeles, it's surreal. It's surreal in that, think about it, here is a really popular area with tourists and people that live, quite an expensive area. I'm not going to lie, it's not a cheap place, not at all. It's Los Angeles, you know, and it's iconic in certain parts, but not in others. I could say that the whole place kind of like sums up duality in a way, and I'll elaborate on that later. But yeah, flew out with my parents, took the very short journey on an aeroplane, as the Americans call it. It's actually like a shuttle bus. It's a very small aeroplane that goes interstate, that flew from Las Vegas over to LA. Stayed in the hotel there. We were very, very close to Disneyland. The original Disneyland, I may add. I say Disneyland, I think it's Disney World. Apologies, I'm correcting myself here, but it's true. So, Disney World. Obviously, you're in that part of the world, you've got to go to Disney World. So I did. Even though I've been to Disneyland a couple of times in Florida, I've not been to Paris. To be honest, I don't think Paris could ever live up to that version or the version in Florida. So, you know, I'm not going to try and make that comparison because I don't think you can. And a little walk around Disney World a couple of times. And what a really great place, you know, capturing the whole heart of Disney and all that it's about. And even then, as an adult, you know, youngish adult, there's still the boyhood charm of Disney that comes out. The inner child is jumping up and down, excited inside, and you just embrace it and you just enjoy it, you know. Went on a couple of rides. Got only family based, so it's nothing too scary or anything like that, you know. Because I'm not really a fan of the fun fair, I've got to be honest. I'm not one of these people who goes on roller coasters that throw you upside down, left, right and centre, and your stomach's up here and your body's down there. I don't do all that. No, not my thing, you know, a bit uncomfortable to be honest, not majorly. But, you know, I have been on a few, and yeah, really, really enjoyed walking around Disney World. But ultimately, the most important part for me about visiting LA was going to see some of the more iconic parts. So of course, yeah, you go down to like the Muscle Beach area and into Hollywood itself, and then you drive to the outskirts and you see Beverly Hills. So we did like a tour, and the driver was a character. When I say he was a character, I think he thought he was in his own film. Maybe that's the sort of, I don't know, maybe that's the sort of character you develop doing a job like that, working close to like where the film industry, capital of the world is technically. And you feel as though you're in your own film or your own story, so you become that character. And I'll elaborate on this in a minute and you'll all be laughing. So yeah, so we're there on the bus, going around all different parts on a day trip. We went over to the beach area, Venice Beach, and the Muscle Beach, and we were warned to be very careful, because I'm being candidly honest here, I'm not trying to put anyone off. Yes, it's a great area. Yes, it's good to see people doing exercise, and the sights, obviously, it's fantastic. But be under no illusions, you get a lot of tramps over that area, and these people will try and get money off you like any other homeless person or tramp would. And the guy on the bus said to be very careful, that they can get a bit nasty. So, not wanting to ruin anyone's experience and put you off going to see that, just exercise caution, be a little bit vigilant if you are going over that way. I mean, I did, and there was no problem. Doesn't always follow, though, that that will be the case. So do be careful if you are going there, okay? And then, of course, we went over to Hollywood, and, wow. I'm going to say this about Hollywood. It is a fantastic place. There's no place like it in the world. But in parts, it's quite run down, and it's really not what you expect. I suppose back when the film industry was brand new and everything was a bit shiny, and I use that phrase, shiny, like loosely, that there was, a lot of nice sort of area there. But inevitably, it's not a cheap place to live. I can imagine the running costs and taxes you've got to pay to live there are high, and that keeping that up is not easy. So, like, you go to the Kodiak Cinema, and where you've got all the hands on the ground, of all the famous celebrities and stars. You go in there, yeah, it's fantastic. You walk down the road, turn the corner, it's not the greatest, but every area has got its rough parts, I'm not going to lie. So that's not me trying to belittle LA and say it's not worth a visit. It is definitely worth a visit. If you drive down the road, turn the corner, you're on Rodeo Drive, you've got all the bars and posh shops. So, like I said, duality, you've got that and that living alongside each other, like most parts of the world has, it's just how it is. Two things coincide, they link together, that's how it goes. So, yeah, managed to get a good photograph of the Hollywood sign from inside the Kodiak Cinema. If you go up a flight of stairs, you go out onto like a bridge, and that bridge is facing it, and you can get a really good shot on your camera. I put my camera well onto zoomed right in, and got a really good shot of the Hollywood sign. Got back on the coach, and as I said, the guy on the coach was a bit of a character. And I say a bit of a character. He was a fun character, though. He wasn't an idiot character or anything like that. Not judging, but he was a funny bloke. A couple of the people were told to be back on the coach by a certain time. They kept us waiting. They came on and said sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it, and it was just like executed with such aplomb, shall we say, such acting gusto. I was laughing. And then on the way back, negotiating the 10 lanes of traffic, by the way, which I've never seen anything like in my life. I mean, in England we have like 4 lanes, maybe 6 maximum in certain roads, and you think that's why. This is like as far as the eye can see. And have a guess what? At rush hour, they're moving nowhere. You're literally sitting on a massive car park, and that's what it's like. And we were coming back, and it was like that. And I think I fell asleep on one of the seats at the back. They're like, "We're back." It's like something out of The Shining or something. It's like, oh, Jack Nicholson's riding in the bus. Anyway, yeah. So really, really great, and definitely worth a visit. I would go again, 100%. I would. And funnily enough, when I was out there, I was actually told by my mum and dad, if you want, you can stay. And there was that little split thought, do I stay? It's scary, because obviously having a holiday is one thing, but emigrating to another country is another. But yeah, at the time, I was given the opportunity to stay if I wanted, and I was like, oh God, my job, my life in England, wasn't really much keeping me here, apart from family really. But I didn't choose to stay in Case Rosra. I guess I got a little bit scared, but the option was there. They were happy for me to stay and just stay out there, you know. And only thing I would say is that I didn't have more time to explore it a bit more, you know. I'd like to have maybe gone to San Diego in that area. Maybe gone up and down Route 66 or something, you know. Up the West Coast Highway or something like that, you know, just, it's, you know, the Pacific Coast Highway, should I say. It's a beautiful country and a beautiful part of the country, and I don't know what the percentage now is, but at one stage over 40% of America resided there or something. I can understand why. I mean, why wouldn't you want to? It's an iconic area. It's popular in ways for good reason. And just a little soundbite here that will make you chuckle. So Beverly Hills, that's an interesting place. It's interesting in that the nearest hospital to Beverly Hills is 45 minutes drive. So celebrities and stars don't get ill. Okay, to each their own. But yeah, it was just surreal that the nearest hospital's 45 minutes away. So if anyone gets sick, that's all I've got to say. Hopefully you've got some med centre or something near, or some medic living in your mansion that will help you and save your life if required. But yeah, definitely it's a fantastic place. And I don't mind telling you that my background was in films many years ago, and it's actually something I wanted to pursue as a career path. And you know, LA was definitely on my bucket list as a place I wanted to visit. Particularly wanted to see Hollywood, of course. It's Hollywood is Hollywood. You know, say Tinseltown or not, Hollywood is Hollywood, and it's fantastic. Even for its ugly parts, like any place really. But yeah, that was my experience of LA. I know my parents weren't as keen on LA as there was San Francisco. Maybe it does have a younger person's appeal. I don't know. Maybe they just saw it as, I don't know, a bit of a rush job because we were only there for like about 4 or 5 days or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. I went. I was happy to go. I'd happily go again. Really loved it. And I recommend that you at some point get out there, see some of the things I've seen, maybe go some of the places that I didn't go, which I would like to go. Yeah, do it. Why not? This is second video of the week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for watching. As always, really appreciate your time and your energy spent on my channel. Thank you very kindly. Video 2 of this week. Put down in the comment section below, LA, is it on your bucket list? Is Hollywood a place you'd like to visit? Or are you not really so bothered about all that? Are you more for seeing the sights of maybe the Pacific Coast Highway and some of the beautiful beaches that have out that way? There's plenty to see and do. I only scratched the surface in my time there. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a thumbs up and a like. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know when my next content's out. But until then, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. Really appreciate your time and energy spent on my channel. Until then, I will be back in a couple of days with my next video. But until then, bye for now. Take care of yourselves.